Welcome back and thank you for staying with us on Daybreak, a show coming to you live from our studio here in the nation's capital. Now, in more than 24 hours, workers have down tools across the nation as the Nigerian Labour Congress, the NLC, and the Trade Union Congress, the TUC, are on industrial action over the hike in the electricity tariff and a lack of consensus on a new minimum wage. After almost 6 hours of meeting in Abuja yesterday, that's Monday evening, the federal government expressed the commitment of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to raising the 60,000 naira offered as the minimum wage. I mean, it's just saying we're going to raise it, so there's still a room for discussion. So with this new development, the question here that we want to hear from you Nigerians, as usual, when we give you opportunity to share your thoughts, and yes, we know that stakeholders are watching us. So would you suggest that the labor union should call off the strike in this 1 week that the federal government are pushing, saying there would be a very quick and fast negotiation and everything will be reached within this 1 week? Or should the indefinite strike continue? I mean, the industrial action, let it wait through that 1 week. That way it will be a pin on the legs and feet of the government to push and quicken this situation. Let's hear your take on this matter. The numbers will be displayed on your TV screen. 2 numbers. You can reach us via any, and please, if you are calling, do not forget that we'll need you to stay away from your TV set, and also, or you can turn on the volume of your TV. That way we can get to hear you on this matter, because the Labour are already taking time to decide on what to do, and the federal government are hoping that the Labour would make this decision today, but the Labour Union are just keen on deciding. Let's see what happens. So perhaps your decision, your suggestions could impact one way or another on the decision that the Labour Union would come out with today. But there's been an official statement on their social media handle saying that for now they're still waiting for their organ to make that decision. But the question, would you fault the Labour Union if they decide to, stick to the strike for the next 1 week until this agreement is made? Or do you think they should call it off for now, and that would not make them look as though the federal government are really getting their way? Let's hear your take on that. Go ahead, call the numbers on your TV screen. Now, first of all, I had to point out that this issue is that in the agreement that was signed by the both labor union leaders, I mean the NLC and the TUC leaders, there's no place where they talked about the electricity tariff hike. All right, let's pick our first call. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, are you with us? Your name and where you're calling us from?
My name is Daybreak and I'm calling from Niger State.
It's good to have you from Niger this morning. Go ahead. What do you think the labor union should do?
I'm thinking according to my say, I think the labor union should end the strike, because the strike has caused a lot to us. The strike has stopped us, especially everybody needs like children needs like also elders. Some people they have work that needs the use of light. Like some people grinding grinding things, they need light. Some students need light to iron their uniforms, to pump water so that they will not need to fetch water again. So I think they should end the strike, because the strike is really causing pain to people. Especially after paying NEPA bill, not that you are owing light. Now we have to be buying first generator, and first is even expensive these days. So we need government to appeal to the government that they should end this strike, that they should please help us, that they should have mercy upon us. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that call. I mean, one thing that the labor union put in mind or knew before embarking on this was it was definitely going to cause a hardship on Nigerians. But we have to look at the end game. It was two-way: tolerate the pain and wait for the federal government to make their decision on when the economy will turn to better, to a better place, or to endure the pain for the Labour Party pushing for an immediate solution. It's a two-way thing. Both ways are not pleasing at all. So definitely the Labour Union understand that. Let's pick another call. Good morning. Good morning. Are you with us?
Are you speaking with me?
Yes, I am. Your name and where you're calling us from.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
I think the Labour Party, the Labour people should continue with the strike. Let's teach this government a little bit of lesson.
But don't forget, the people are caught in the crossfire as well.
Yes, I don't have light here, but they should continue. And when they think they should go into dealing with the people in the house, the politicians, let them cut down their salaries. Let them cut down everything. They are just killing us. We're just suffering for nothing. It's very unfair. Let them continue for another 2 or 3 days. Then thereafter they can go back. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah. Thank you so much for calling. We appreciate you calling and sharing your take on that one. I mean, there's been, of course, right from the first and second caller, there's been a conflict while some people are pleading for a call and others. Now, I want to dissect both parts. First of all, for the people calling on the Labour should just stop, the strike at this point, it's due to what people are facing. The basic amenities, which is one, there is light. Even though the Labour Union are fighting for that light, the tariff of the power to also reduce. There's also that thought, but people definitely have felt the impact in just Monday of a lot of things being shut down in the country, or almost everything. And speaking on the part of those saying the Labour Union should continue with a strike, it's because the Labour Union has been not once, not twice, been at some point, say, undermined by the federal government, and this negotiation has gone way longer than it should. So people are thinking the Labour Union should hold on to that. At least that would speed up, these thoughts. All right, let's take another call. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Afolabi. I'm calling from Niger State.
Good to have you from Niger. Go ahead.
My contribution to the topic of discussion today is: are we even really sure that the Labour are fighting for the Nigerian masses? If the Labour said they are fighting for the Nigerian masses, good. Then, if the money is let's assume the money they are requesting for is approved, do you think all what we are buying in the market will not still go up? Because I, as not as someone that is not under a payroll on federal government or state or local government, it's going to affect my life, because the moment the NEPA saw that their money has been approved, that means they have agreed to the rise in the electricity hike. The inflation in market, people that are selling, they will now know that money has been paid to them. They will now increase.
But money was not increased. But and yet people are still struggling to buy foodstuff, and the foodstuff has increased 10 times. So that has nothing to do with minimum wage, though.
No, I know, but this is Nigeria, where we live. The moment people saw that money has been increased to salary, because most of people, especially where I live, is salary state. The moment they heard that your salary has been increased, they inflate price. Because guys, if I'm selling this tomato 5 naira before, I know the salary has been increased so about 20%, 30% of what you are collecting now. That they start putting more price on what you are buying, and it's
it's a lack of discipline. I understand what you're saying, but does that mean that you prefer the minimum wage should remain the way it is?
No. I don't prefer that. Okay. But I am not on the government side, and the labourers too should consider the masses that are under payroll.
Yeah. So what do you suggest?
The labourers should consider people that are under payroll, because whatever they agree to is going to affect them negatively, because the electricity hike now, the NEPA or this coast now will not say, okay, this is what you have been complaining of, that your money is minimum. the money has been paid to you. Now the electricity hike will now come into effect. So that is my contribution. May God bless Nigeria.
Amen. Thank you so much for your take and, of course, your concern on this. At the end of the day, we all are wishing for one thing, for a better Nigeria. And it's always good, of course, to hear diverse thoughts on what should be done in the country. That means that we are smart people. We use our brain to think on possible solution for the country. So please go ahead, call us. Let's hear your take on this matter. One thing that the last caller made mention is that fear. And yes, everybody always have that fear. This is one of the reasons why the mass media, we have been pushing for especially a price control situation, because we seem to have people who are who monopolize market, people who control market, people who can just decide, association of this and this, and they decide to increase prices of foodstuff. But one thing that we had that I remember someone talk about yesterday, a spokesperson of the labor union, is the fact that, and it's quite agreed, that the laws, not even laws, the policies, especially what have caused the hike in inflation. And I've heard the labor union say that if at all the prices of everything or the inflation rate was as it used to be in 2019, then they might not have even pushed for any review of salary. Since it's a 5-year plan, they would just walk up to the table, shake hands and turn, because everything is the same, and 30,000 is still workable. But right now, the inflation has increased rapidly, and people are feeling the brunt of it right now, with the prices of food really high, price of electricity, power really high, prices of a lot of things, transportation and all of that, and the same salary is not even foreseeable. Let's be honest. And when you look at the developed countries that we're trying to emulate based on what the financial experts are saying, talking about the World Health, the World Bank rather, and also the IMF, the other developed countries' minimum wage is it's almost, say, 10 times ours. It's way more than ours. And even in African countries, there are a lot of African countries that their minimum wage is way more than Nigerians, considering Nigeria prides itself as the giant of Africa. And we have more resources. We have more wealth than, all these countries, even paying more than. So something is wrong. Something is definitely wrong in Nigeria. And this is why the Labour are pushing for the people, because the people have been lamenting and it seemed not to be working, and hence the reason why the Labour are pushing. So here's the question today. The federal government is giving options, saying there will be 1 week of negotiation, even though in the agreement there was no thought of saying, okay, you have to, for us to offer that 1 week of negotiation, you have to stop the strike. So it all depends on the labor union, and that is why we want to hear from you. Should they, take a break on this or continue while that 1 week negotiation is ongoing? Good morning.
I think the problem of
apologies, please. Your name? Where are you calling us from?
I'm Gomsakalu from Taraba.
Okay,
from then Mambila Native Authorities, Adona local government.
Oh, it's good to have you from Taraba. So, okay, go ahead with your take.
Yes, Gomsakalu. We have seen that this democracy is the best government, but those agents that are there, they love but themselves. How can they give senators some millions, and then we, the processing units in the devices, as a civil servant, they don't want to recognize us. With that civil servant, do they think government will exist well? The country that went into commercialization, they are advanced, good in security. Therein, that will not stop. To me, if let's say the politicians only love themselves, then they should just tell us that they want to destroy Nigeria. Otherwise, Nigeria have not been as they are now going on. So therein, if they wish or if they like, let them redress their own allowances. I cannot call it salary, but it's their allowances, because in the shortest hour they will leave that position. So it will redress their allowances. That is what we are suffering in the market because of these politicians that we voted them in. It's just like if you bring your hands and you slap your face. Yeah. So if politicians will know that how can a salary of a member House of Representatives, House of Rep, Assembly, you see them in millions. Then somebody who will work for the government for 35 years, suffering to make sure that the public sector is ongoing and will be getting 50,000. Well, in the market, you see that things are very high.
Indeed. So right now, I want you to answer this question for me. Should Labour end this strike now or continue?
Yeah, I'm in Taraba State.
Yeah.
And,
can you hear me?
Taraba State, Mambila. Yes, Gomsa Khalid. So we want that if government knows what they want to do, they have to redress this. And NNPC is for the entire Nigeria. Other local government are suffering with that, even enjoying the dividend. Are we under colony, especially in Sadra local government?
Yeah. So do you think? Are you with me? Are you with me?
Sir?
So do you think the labor union should call off the strike while this 1 week negotiation is ongoing?
We want that the labor union should not call off the strike, but then all job, other thing, other transaction in Nigeria should stop, because all of us are under labor union.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for your take on this matter. I appreciate you. I mean, one thing has been echoed. It's, the frustration of Nigerians on exactly what is going on. People are definitely hammering for a bit of increase on the salary offered by the federal government, which is 60,000 naira. Well, the federal government have agreed to increase it, which we don't know how the negotiation would be going, and we don't know the offer they would be bringing. But like I said earlier on the show, the proposed things that the federal government has made mention is just three rather. One, the threat saying that people will go to jail for embarking on this indefinite strike. It's cancelled. No worker is going to suffer from, deciding to stay at home. And at this point, I don't think Nigerians really care on that threat. And secondly, there is the thought of saying that there's going to be 1 week, since the labor union are pushing for a quicker negotiation and a better offer. So there is 1 week for that. And the third one is the federal government saying, fine, we've agreed that 60,000, it's not okay. We're going to add to it, which is another thing the labor union are pushing. Now, yesterday, the spokesman of the labor union, Comrade Ben Upa, made mention that the labor union are not stuck on having exactly what they want, which is, for now, the negotiation has moved from 600 to 494,000 naira. They're saying they are flexible, and we all know how negotiation happens. If you're coming, you come with a high demand because you know that there will definitely be a cutting down of that demands until it gets to at least a foreseeable and acceptable amount, which is what is expected in this 1 week of negotiation. But right now, the labor union are not saying anything about calling off the strike. So now that is the question posed on Nigerians, because your own answer could determine or impact the decision of the labor union, because at the end of the day, they are representing the masses, they are representing Nigerians. Would or should the labor union continue the strike, or should it stop, since the federal government are committing themselves to a 1 week speedy agreement of the new minimum wage? Let's not forget there's other demands of the union, which is the tariff hike, and the federal government did not address it in this agreement. So, but then right now, both demands are of the labor union. So do you think that this is something that should be pushed or it should just stop for now until everything is done. Go ahead, call us. Let's hear your take on this matter. Should the labor union go on or continue the strike, or stop the strike at this point and then continue the decisions of the labor union and the federal government on the situation? Like I said earlier, the labor union are saying that they're still waiting on their own organ to make that decision. But before then, the strike is still on. Nigerians, of course, are at the end of each decision. If it's with the federal government, Nigerians are suffering. The economy has become more tight, and it seems the poor are not really breathing. And if it is on the labor union strike, also Nigerians are feeling the brunt of the situation. But it's a two-weighty thing. Which one would benefit Nigerians more? That is the situation right now. So please call us via the numbers on your TV screen. Let's hear your take on the situation. Should the Labour Party continue with a strike, or should there be a stop to this particular strike? Would want to hear your take. What are you saying? Nigerians need to converse on all of this. We need to talk about these things, because this is things that affect us. This is things that is really biting deeper, and it seemed not to be an end to it. Now, some people have pointed, of course, their concerns, saying there's going to be an inflation and all of that. Later on, of course, we will be talking to an economic expert that would explore all of that to us. But at this point, Nigeria has hit the highest rate of inflation it has ever gotten to, and Nigerians are feeling the brunt for the first time. And the devaluation of the naira is something that has also added to all of this. We all had hope that at some point it was going to get better, but it's not getting better. So definitely something needed to be done. Good morning. Good morning. All right, we lost that call. Please go ahead, call us. While you're calling us, do not forget to tell us your name and where you're calling us from, so that we can get to know exactly your location and know that every part of Nigeria is being represented in this phone call interaction. Share your take, what you think the labor union should do at this point, because they are our representatives. They are the workers' representatives out there. So go ahead, call the numbers on your TV screen. Let's hear your take on the matter. As a Nigerian, as someone who has Nigeria at heart, as someone who is hoping that their country would bloom to a point where whatever national anthem we are reciting, at least we recite it with pride. We recite it with so much heart and patriotism, to say that this is our country and this is a country that we plan and hope to build together to a point where not just us but the world would be proud of. And this is the major platform that can give you opportunity to share your take on policies and decisions that affect you. So go ahead, share your thoughts on this matter. Should the labor union go on strike, or should they at least take a pause first and continue with this discussion with the federal government in 1 week? Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Are you with us?
Yes, I'm with you.
Okay. Your name and location?
Yes, I'm with you. My name is Umar Tijani. I'm calling you from Kano.
Umar Tijani, where are you calling us from? Please, can you be a bit louder?
Yes, I'm calling you from Kano.
I honestly cannot hear you. You're sounding so far away.
Hello?
Yes? Umar,
hello?
Are you exactly? Okay, this is good. Yes.
Yes, I'm with you.
Yeah, where are you calling us from?
I'm calling you from Kano.
Oh, Cairo. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, actually, I'm supporting what the NLC did. And I assure them, the people of Kano, that is the workers of Kano, are behind them. And we're really in support with them.
Okay, so you're calling from Kano. I thought you said Cairo. Okay, it's Kano State. One thing that
Yes,
you've been following the news, right? The federal government have agreed to do a quickie negotiation, a very fast one within 1 week. Do you think the NLC now should call off the strike, or they should hold on until that 1 week elapsed and see the outcome of the situation?
actually they should go on with.
Why is that?
Because for almost 2 months, the government set off the tripartite committee. Why they didn't do it thing?
Yeah.
So because they see they have closed down the source of income, the airport, because they are used to move from so place to another. So that is why they are eager for NLC to call off. If they call off, then they will leave them and come with another thing. So actually, I'm not in support of NLC. They should go ahead until the federal government and the committee agree with the reasonable thing that the masses or the workers may benefit them.
All right.
Yes, that is my answer.
Thank you so much for calling to share your take. Appreciate you, Omar. One of the things that he pointed out is the fact that it's been a long time since this committee, that's the tripartite committee on new minimum wage, was set, and it has taken longer than expected. I mean, the 5-year plan, let's not forget, during the former President Muhammadu Buhari, he made it a 5-year, changing, passing a bill saying that every five years, there would be a sitting agreement to check on the current economic situation and decide on a new minimum wage. I mean, if it's in a good place, then there will be no need. But it's an agreement. It's a negotiation table every 5 years. That way, it would favor Nigerian workers. So the first 5 years elapsed April this year of 2024. And based on the bill that was passed, the tripartite committee should have been set a long time ago, way before it was set, which, the setting was late, and the negotiations were supposed to finish before that 5-year elapsed. That way the new one will be implemented. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. Your name and where you're calling us from?
My name is Engineer Moses Mbila. I'm calling from Jalingo.
Okay, it's good to have you, Engineer. Go ahead.
In regards to the strike, I am in support of the NLC. Seriously, pertaining this issue, the government, if we are to view their trust percentage or ratio, they are low in giving up, how will I call it, promises and fulfilling them. Maybe I may rate them 20%. Our government, Nigerian government, cannot say we will do this and implement it. They are good in saying it, but to implement it to effect is always an issue for us. So, and the negotiation and the strike doesn't have any issue. They should continue the strike while they negotiate. There's no need of calling off the strike before we negotiate. No need for that. Let's negotiate. Then later we can call off the strike if we have agreed on the negotiation. That's, to me, I'm in support of labor. They should go ahead with the strike, please. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Engineer, for that take. Pointing out, a very solid thing that Nigerians has been broken, not once but continuously, saying the federal governments are quick to make decisions or say something, but then implementation. And this is something that we have had experts re-echoed over and over again, that the government are quick to pass on a policy, but then, or to say this is going to be done, statement passed here and there, but the decisions, of implementing it is always a problem. Labor union pushing, saying that there's been a lot of promises that the federal government, after the removal of fuel subsidy, after the Naira started plunging and all of that, and the power sector tariff hike, that there was going to be at least some measures that would be put in place to cushion the effects of this decision. Now, one of the things that the federal government made promise of was refineries. And one promise was it was going to be done before December, and then they said the first quarter of this 2024. So until now, Nigerians have not seen anything yet about it. It just seemed to be slow. And the federal government, even on the first year anniversary of the president, the people were expecting to have a bit of, talk or to hear something from the federal government on all of these issues. But people got a bit disappointed by what played out in the National Assembly between the House of Representatives, the Senate, the National Assembly, and the President, which none of it puts Nigerians at heart currently. So definitely people have lost a bit of hope in this administration, and hence the reason why there's a massive support on the labor union's decision. Do we have a caller? All right. Because of time, of course, I think we have to put an end to this segment. I appreciate everyone who called in to share their take and thoughts on what is going to happen. We'll just have to wait and see what the final decision would be for the labor from the labor union. At the end of the day, we know it's all about Nigerian people for the labor union. Now we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk to an expert on this whole situation. So do not go anywhere. We'll be right back.